Welcome to the dungeon. Dum dum dum.
The 10th episode.
10th. A nice round number. Round things are nice,
Like the moon and the sun.
or body parts.
What body part is round?
Well, bums and boobs and faces and basically everything is round. Either it's partially round or it's fully round.
Okay, so yeah, you just gotta clarify something when you say partially.
But leave it up to the imagination.
Yeah, meaning not completely. So what say we? 10th
What say
episode.
we?
Yeah, 10th episode. Can you imagine?
It feels longer and shorter at the same time. It feels
Shorter.
like it took a while to get to 10.
That's why it felt longer. It seemed longer.
Yeah. But I also feel short because I'm like, how did we get here so fast?
I mean, for one, if if you're doing something, if you're doing something like for the benefit of the public and they embrace it and accept it, you feel encouraged to go on, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, like just the how the followers and people just how it's represented with them,
Mm-hmm.
like it's very encouraging, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it felt long because gee, can you imagine if only we took a break only 1 week,
Mm-hmm.
understand? So
Yeah.
and people were just asking, inquiring. So can you imagine if we if it's something we did once a month or what the
Yeah.
uh,
I think if we did it once a month, the conversations would be more too. Because I feel like sometimes people are trying to like catch up with all the episodes, but if they have more time, then they have more time to tell you something and then come back and tell you more and then come back and tell you more
yeah,
about
but
that one episode.
once a month, nah,
Nah, I don't like that.
yeah,
I I remember after the first episode, we were considering doing it more than once a week because it was like so much fun and we wanted to do another one.
nah, neither. That once a week is good.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah. And it fits into our schedules and everything.
Yeah, and the more we grow, then I think we could make. There's gonna be room for adjustments and stuff like that as we grow and go along. Because believe me, um, once again, it's very encouraging the way how people are just accepting and not just accepting, it's like
Involved.
they are involved with the
Yes.
comments and just and stuff. They are involved. You understand? The last episode we did, episode 9, um, people actually take time to comment, do their research and comment. For example, with the blood clot,
Yes, yes.
yeah, there
So
was
before we get into that, I just want to preface this by saying this episode we're going to look over our journey and like talk about the conversations we've had with people that
yeah,
we that haven't made it into the episode because at the end of the day, as we said in one of those episodes, we create together, and bringing in the community is very important to us.
and just yeah, and just like the touch base and even the standout episode for me is the first one. Because
Yeah.
that's the genesis. No, that's the genesis of it. You understand? And it
Yeah.
wasn't even titled. It's just the introduction.
Yeah, we didn't have anything. We just started talking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Eh,
so many people listen to that one. I mean, that episode's about to reach 100 streams.
episode 2 surpasses it though.
Yeah, episode 2 has surpassed 100 streams, but episode 1 is about to reach, like, I don't know, I think it's at 93 or something.
And we are about to reach 500 streams.
Yes. That's crazy though.
with with um listeners from what 19 nations.
Yes. We got 19 nations tuning in.
With the exception of Africa, we have every
Yes.
continent.
Yeah, because we got North America. Wait, we don't have South America.
Yeah.
No. We don't
Here's
have
Canada.
North America. Hello.
North America. Who is in South America?
Where is South America?
Yes.
South.
Who is in
Um,
South America?
Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Uruguay, Paraguay, Brazil, Suriname,
Argentina.
Argentina, and Chile. But Suriname, Guyana, French Guyana. I
We
think
don't have
those.
we don't have Colombia yet. I thought we did have Colombia.
No, we don't have Colombia. Colombia. No, we don't have Colombia.
Oh, what that means to you though, like I know. Once again, it goes back to even why we're muted a mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like that platform, that space allow us to just meet people from all over the world
Yeah.
and become friends and with people, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plus for me. One of the pluses with Y1, with you to the mission. Um um to just get to learn about like different, like I have two friends who was in my DTF from Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
One is one was Karen. I think we talk about this, did I? Karen and
Not on the podcast.
that on the podcast, yeah, and Leon. I was
Uh-huh.
supposed to go and visit them in 2019, but then COVID came. 2019, late 2019, early 2020, but then COVID hit,
Yeah.
and then we just fell out of touch from that. Huh?
Yeah. And it's interesting too, like people that I haven't talked to for a long time have been reaching out. Like I've been reaching out to people, letting them know, especially people that were in Jamaica with us, which were people from different nations. But also I've been reaching out to people. Yeah, I've been reaching out to people, but they've also been reaching out to me and be like, "Yeah, where do I listen?" Or that was an interesting episode. Um, and it's cool to see how everything comes together that way.
Yeah, and for people to just like to just follow their. I mean, creating to be a creator now it's so easy. You
Hmm.
understand? And just go for it. I mean, we have conversation like we used to talk like on a regular, and then one day we're like, let's record it, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then poof, the dungeon. 2 months later, 19 different nations, almost 500 streams,
Yeah,
and a lot of interesting conversation.
yeah, yeah. And one thing I would add to what you just said too is a lot of people, they'll see you create something and then they want to do the same, right? But oftentimes the inspiration is not do the same. The inspiration is there's something within you that's itching to be created and you got to create that. Not create what
A
you
replica.
yeah, not recreate what you got inspired to. Like the source of inspiration doesn't mean you got to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. You can't recreate the wheel, man.
No, because I think about this podcast, and we talk about a lot of times how it's so easy and it flows and all this stuff. But I think it's only easy because it's what we were meant to do, right? Like you and I's relationship is great. We trust each other, we're friends. So that's one side of it. But also, it's like my gifts with your gifts, and we flow together so nicely. I really feel like it was meant to be created by us for a time like this.
Yeah, because we do have very deep. I think some of the deepest conversation we have was when the podcast was even recorded. I was like, we should have been recording those, you know, and because we are in a state, a mindset now of like, what do we talk about and stuff like which I sometimes you have to just wing it, man, and just let
Yeah,
it
yeah.
float and come. But like to add what to what you just said, that's another plus for us. Like we have inspired people
Hmm.
to do a podcast,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, to do podcasts, and that's inspiration is good. To be inspirational is very good.
yeah.
To be positive influence these days is good. Is a plus.
Hmm.
Let
Hmm.
me see. Um. So
So
what? Go ahead.
here's a question for you. What's a conversation we've had that comes to mind that we've had outside of the podcast that you think would be good to be recorded?
Is this PG-13?
No. I mark explicit on every episode. Every time I'm about to publish, I say
No,
explicit just in case.
no. Geez, I'm sure if I can remember. That's a good one.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, like there's a lot.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, we normally just talk and think and then it just go into whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like as soon as it's forced, it doesn't work out.
Nothing is work out
No.
properly when it's forced ripe, you know?
No, that's
Um
raping the thing, whatever that thing is. I actually I wrote something once. I said when somebody breaks into your house, it's called when somebody forces themselves into your house, it's called a
that's
robbery.
breaking.
When somebody forces you, when somebody takes your life forcefully, it's called a homicide. When somebody forces themselves sexually on you, it's called rape. But then we force things on ourselves all the time. We
Self-rape.
force our yeah, self rape, self homicide, self
So,
burglary. It's all those things, and I think
so
it's so interesting. Yeah.
question. What's the difference between murder and homicide?
I don't know. English is not my first language.
No,
That's
because
my excuse.
because you say when somebody kills somebody, it's an homicide. That's a murder. I think homicide is it's when it's not intentional.
No,
Or
I think
no. No.
homicide is a legal term.
For murder.
Yeah, and I feel like homicide murder encapsulates all of it, and then homicide has like certain boundaries that it's called a homicide. I think if it's unintentional, it may not be called a homicide.
Dum dum dum.
It's manslaughter and legal
Not
terms, but also like I don't ever see legal terms in my country in English. It's always in Dutch. So
so for you, what's the one episode that stand out the most for you?
um I I can't pick because to me it's always the latest episode. That's always my favorite. Um because I really feel like we're improving every time. But something that I've been pondering about is when I shared my rape story. Um somebody it's interesting because it's something really it's both vulnerable and not. It's vulnerable in the sense that, I mean, that's a very personal thing to share. It's not vulnerable in the sense that I've shared it before so many times and I'm okay with it and I'm over that. Um, but somebody commented on it recently in a very, I didn't pick it up at first, but afterward, I felt some kind of way when they were talking. And then when afterwards, I realized I'm like, that's a very insensitive way to talk about something that happened to me.
Mm.
And it was an old friend of mine. And he was saying, "Oh, I didn't know that happened to you. Like, I saw you once and you were definitely off." He came to my house and I was definitely off. And my mom said, "Yeah, just let her be in her thing." And he's like, "Now I understand why you were so off at that time." And then he said, "Oh, I wish I knew so I could be there for you." It's a guy. And I said, "Well, I don't think you could have done much." And he said, "Oh, you don't know that." And I'm like,
But be there for you in which way?
exactly. And I'm like, I don't think you could have done much.
Yeah.
You know, I I would know. Like, you don't know the details of what I've been through and how I felt about things at that time.
Mm.
So you saying you should have been there for me is also like forcing yourself onto me for you to feel good.
Thinking that he supported you in any way. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah, like I get that his intentions might not be bad, but intention is not the same as impact. Like you could have the greatest intentions, but it'll still hurt somebody.
Yeah, the impact, it's different. Um,
Yeah.
well, it's the same for me, you know, like just sharing some stuff about my story,
Hmm.
where marriage is concerned and stuff like that. It's, you know, when putting things out there on a platform such as this one, we're living in the internet like world now,
Hmm.
where one click of a button, once you post something that's millions, billions of people, it's at their fingertip. You
Yeah.
understand? It can feel a bit naked, you know,
Hmm.
in sense of a bit vulnerable and stuff like that. But then, um, the good part is like nothing you have experienced, nothing I've experienced, nothing we have experienced in our life is indigenous to us. You understand?
Yeah, I love that word,
Someone,
indigenous.
yeah, someone went through it before.
Uh-huh.
Understand? And um, someone will go through it again.
Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah.
your story, if my story, if our story could just be there for someone to have like a heads up, you understand?
Hmm.
Or you know what, this happened to me and this is how I get through it or stuff like that. Information like is
Hmm.
good to share, you understand, to share certain stuff to help someone else in the long term. But I'm also mindful of the fact that information can very easily turn to ammunition, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and use against you in a negative way. So, I mean, yeah,
How much do you allow that fear of information being like the possibility of information becoming ammunition hold you back from sharing your story?
never hold me back because I, 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 I still, what I'm putting out there
Hmm.
is what I'm comfortable with. It's
Yeah.
nothing I've never, I live in my own head, you know, I live in my space, I live in my head. So, so if I said I'm going to let something out of the valves, I've already talked to myself a million times.
Mm.
Just put myself. I think when I was at the when I was doing security at Sangsters Airport, they taught us something to to think like a criminal.
Mm.
aviation security, you have to think like you can't just go there say I'm gonna do a job and I'm gonna look for good guys or whatever. You have to think like a criminal. Oh, if I want to get something through past immigration, past custom,
Mm-hmm.
to take onto a plane like a bomb or something, I can't just walk with it in a bag or a briefcase. It will be detected. So how do I camouflage it so that it passes people? You understand? I can put
Mm-hmm.
it in my belt, in my shoe, whatsoever. You understand? So you have to think like, you understand? And so I think about people's reaction, how different people view it. The people who is important to me, who I'm associated with. You understand? I'll know their character and their characteristics and stuff like that, and I'd say, all right, this is how a person will react. This will be my counter reaction or whatsoever. You understand? So, um, um, and so I remember you saying to me once, but Andy, you have to feel something like you're not a rock. And it's not that I'm a rock, but I don't really care. In a nutshell, to the bottom line is I don't really care.
But you do feel.
Feel, but I don't care.
Okay.
Because Shay, you cannot let a person's reaction or a person's thought of you differ years because you could be having a wonderful day, you know. You
Mm-hmm.
start out, you do your exercises, you move off, you breathe, and your day start off with a bang for you. And then someone come and say, Shay, go suck your mother. No. Their energy is being forced onto you, and it's up to me if I want to take that onto myself
Yes.
or just walk away from it.
You're talking about feeling for somebody. I'm talking about feeling in general. Because
No, in
here's the
general.
thing. Oh, I feel deeply about everything. Um, and it's interesting because what you said is true, but also you gotta be very mindful that when you turn it off so that other people do not like when you stop feeling so that other people don't impact you, you can also stop feeling for the people that you do want to feel for, and you become a rock in general.
I didn't say I stop feeling for people. I just say the negativity are good things too. I don't take praises. I don't take praises. I have a saying, nothing is real. Nothing is real. Because the mouth that says, yo, Shay, you are like I think you're awesome and stuff like that. That's the same
Hmm.
mouth one day that is gonna say, Shay, no, you're not nice today, or you're not good today. No, no, it's not. Something is constant, unchangeable. You understand? So if I say she's a nice person, that's it. That's why I don't like she's a good person. Let me say good.
Hmm.
I don't like that term good, because I can be nice, but I'm not good. I don't consider myself good because whatever is good has an expiry date. It
Yeah.
will go
Yeah.
bad. It will go bad, man. Like it's not constant.
I
Nice is a choice. I choose to be nice today, but tomorrow I might feel grumpy and them stuff there, and then you won't think you're not very nice today and stuff like that. You understand? So it's like
uh-huh.
a kid.
I agree with you, but I'm going to challenge you a little bit deeper than that.
I know you are gonna challenge me.
Yeah. So good and bad, I agree with you. Like, I don't believe in good or bad because, as you said, it changes, right? And I've been, for a long time, in order, especially for me to move away from the judgment that's been ingrained in me growing up in Christianity, I used to say there is no good or bad. And I do believe that there is in certain instances, but a lot of times, like 90% of the time, when we said that's good or that's bad or that person is good or that person is bad, if you challenge that a bit deeper, you'll find out that there's something else going on, right? Like an example is all prisoners are bad or all murderers are bad. Actually, it's way more complicated than that. Yes, what they did is bad. Who
Facts,
they
the act.
are who they are. And is it even bad? Because if you murder a murderer, it could be a good thing. Like, you could have saved so many people's lives, right?
And
So it's fascinating because it's all way more complicated than just, oh, this is good and that is bad.
it's
But then
like, mm,
but then challenging you even more on this idea of nice. Shadia is nice. Nice is often associated with what's good or bad. Like, if you want to be nice, say thank you. If you want to be nice, say please, right? If you want to be nice, um, refer to the person with sir or whatever. But kindness is even deeper than that because kindness is how you felt about what the person did.
so
And
so
it's
even
not
that.
about what's good or bad. It's like, hey, that person was really kind to me. That was really nice.
So it's that's what I was about to say. Kindness is associated with being nice too.
Yeah, it is, but I feel like it's a bit deeper. Because
Listen,
niceness, again, listen, if if the country changes, if the culture changes, the niceness changes. But the kindness doesn't change because you can see the kindness in
no,
somebody's eyes.
no, no. You see, not being nice is a choice. It's like love. Like I choose to love you. No care how nice you are to me. Love is a choice. No, but
Yeah, yeah.
and that choice can be changed. You understand? Like we have
Hmm.
seen it. Oh, I love you. You're the most beautiful thing to me in the world. And then 2 years down the line, maybe even earlier, divorce court, boom, 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 boom. Where the love go? They are at each other's throat.
Yeah.
You understand? So certain things is a choice. I choose to love you, and I can choose not to love you. The
Hmm.
thing is, your personality that caused me to love you,
Hmm.
you know, like keep that. Just the essence of that. You don't have to be like the first. I remember and right.
Hmm.
As I said, I planted a garden, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, everything, and we used to do picnics and a lot of stuff. And then life started happening, and cause as I said, life is gonna be life in.
Hmm.
And then you don't have the freedom to do certain stuff anymore. You know, like and then oh, you stop pursuing me. You used to get me flowers. You used to get me gifts. We used to go out and stuff like that. It's not that I don't want to do those stuff no more, but life will be life. I have to work it out. You understand? Like so, I do understand. Say yeah, we got to maintain certain and keep up certain stuff. You understand? But then again, life will be life. You understand? Unintentionally, life just start getting complicated. You start having kids. You know, your work. You might get a promotion at work that demand more time from you and attention and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And it just happened, man.
But there's a lot of understanding that needs to come through, like, I understand your situation. I understand the times that you have available. I understand your pocket. I understand our lifestyle change.
Amen.
Um, but those are conversations that need to be had. Now, I'm going to tell you something that you don't fully agree with me here is people often don't allow themselves to really get to know somebody and really have a solid relationship before they add in the pressures of the world on top of that. What I mean by this is when you meet somebody, you're single, they're single, or you're married, they're married,
That's true.
right? Like, but you have a certain lifestyle. When you start to add responsibilities on the relationship, you start to add a pressure because each responsibility comes with certain pressures and certain things. So it's important to me to slowly add those things and be like, okay, I added another one. Let's find our balance. I added another one. Let's find our balance. And how much time you take to add in and find balance is up to you, right? Because some people can add, and find balance. But I feel like a lot of people, they'll just add everything on top of each other. It's like wedding, marriage, car, house, kids, all of them within a year. And then they're like, I can't, or I don't understand this person anymore. Obviously, because both of y'all needed to change in order to carry all this responsibility.
Yeah, that's true. Listen, for me, like, and these things make life complicated, and you become you start stressing, and you start getting old and grayer and stuff like that, and you're taking away from your lifespan. People don't know that stress kills, you know. Most
Oh
people don't
yeah.
know that stress kills. Maybe
Yeah.
not directly, but indirectly in some sense.
Mhm.
Listen, for me, life is simple. If my opinion is not gonna bring forth some changes, I'm
Mhm.
gonna keep it to myself.
Yeah.
One, two, if something is out of my control, I'm gonna sleep. Not gonna worry about if I wake up and it is still there, I'm gonna sleep some more.
You know how many things are out of your control, so you sleep all day?
So I don't let nothing worry me, Shay. At the end
Yeah,
of the
I
day, that
get it. I get it. But if you take that literally,
I
you
do
should be
take
sleeping
literally.
all day.
Or, or I become like Kawhi Leonard, a robot. And if I'm here, yeah, I have my earphone in and I'm listening to music. You come and see me, you enter the room and see me, you start a conversation. I'm not listening to you, you know, and then notioning, you hear what I'm saying? No, that's rude. You're forcing, you're trying to rape my ears down with this.
True, 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 true. I agree with that one.
People, me, me literally, me not worry about nothing because nothing is real. I've said this to you all the time. Only real thing is time.
Yeah, you do
Nothing
say
is
that
real.
all the time.
Friends, loved one, because no problem you have is eternal.
Yeah.
The thing that is worrying you the most now, it's not eternal. Give it time.
Hmm.
You'll find out that, wow, I really used to make that worry me so much. And some people don't have the faith to just allow things to play out. They commit suicide, they commit murder, they pick up drugs, they do a lot of things and wreck their life or something that just allow time to desolate that shit, to bring it to ruin. You understand? That time is the master, man. I love time. That's why I don't like wasting it. I could, if I lose $1 million today, time could allow me to get back that $1 million. Like the story of Job. He lost everything and in time he became even richer, right? But if you
So,
lose, he
yeah, yeah.
became richer.
Uh-huh.
But if you lose out on time, $1 trillion can never replace that, buy back that time for you.
True.
So I value my time very, very, very much. And if I choose to invest time in you, I care about you. Understand?
So you care about our listeners?
Of course I care about our listeners.
Ooh, you in love.
No, no, no. Let's
I'm
put some
just kidding.
definition. Let
I'm just kidding.
We have mainly started something like when I would.
Andy and listeners sitting in a tree. No, but coming back on the serious notes, yeah, time changes things. Time reveals things. Time
Yes.
changes the importance of things. Like, I went to Siem Reap in Cambodia, and that's where there's Angkor Wat, which is one of the world wonders, one of the seven world wonders on something, because it's very complicated with those world wonders. There's like a whole bunch of lists. But anyway, Angkor Wat is on one of them. And it's like this budding city with cities around it that's that used to be a thing many, many years ago. It's just empty. There's nothing there. That's also where they filmed Tomb Raider. So if you know that film,
Mm,
that's where they
yeah,
got
man.
it. So I was there. Um, not like, and when I was there, I thought of New York City, right? And you can fill in the blank with any city that you're familiar with.
mm,
These places, we look at it and we're like, oh, this is gonna exist forever, you know?
yeah, uh,
But it only takes a little fucking thing to change everything. And we are kind of lucky to have seen that because we've lived through 2020. Like, if you can hear and understand this, you've lived through a pandemic. And look how fast everything changed. It was a matter of days.
you saying that now? I'm remembering I'm Legend with Will Smith.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same shit, like, yeah, for real, like, not. Listen, man. Um, I was about to say something. I lost my thoughts. Continue until I recreate the thoughts.
Yeah. Well, you talked about I Am Legend. Walking Dead is the same. Like, there's a bunch of those movies, World War Z, movies and TV series that
You think
cover
they're
how
trying to tell us?
fast.
You think they're trying to tell us something, shit, in those films? I think that.
Um, I think whether or not they're trying to tell us something, things are about to, things will change at some point, right?
I'm,
This whole thing that, oh, we're humans, we're going to live forever. That's not going to be the thing. Like, there's evolution and things change. And if you, even if you don't believe in evolution, you believe in rapture, well, rapture come. And like,
rapture is a biblical term.
yeah, I know. Like, people believe in creation or evolution many times. So I'm like, even if you don't believe in the evolution part and you're in the Bible stuff, rapture is coming from the biblical term. I don't believe that. Like, let's be clear. I don't believe in a fucking rapture. But if you want to believe in it, you can. And we still will agree on the fact
I,
that things will not be the same on the
only,
long run.
only, only a person who is oblivious to life and reality would think that this is gonna go on forever.
Yeah.
This world is gonna go on forever. And those are the persons who are disappointed constantly with things because they are they
Yes.
are they are they are so optimistic. I mean, it's good to be optimistic, but then you can't be optimistic all the time. You're not a butterfly. Even butterfly change, but well, the caterpillar turned the butterfly. But it went through changes. You understand? Metamorphosis. It went through
Hmm.
changing
The
from
only
one
constant is change.
good. Change
The
is the
only
only
constant is change.
and time.
Yeah, and that's, I feel like when you refer to time being constant, even deeper, what you are referring to, the way that you see it, is the only constant is change, right?
Mm,
Like, where, and if you embrace that, it's a whole different world. Like, I embrace that. At least I try to as much as possible because I suck at it too. But I see things change and people are like, ooh, like some people really could not fathom the pandemic, right? And I was like a kid in the candy store. What are they going to do next? How does this country do it? How did that country do it? How are people reacting to the change? Like, it was amazing to experience that thing.
y-
Um on a very economic, political, um not even political, like systemized how changes were happening. And also, I don't downplay the people that have literally lost their lives in there. But change, once you embrace it, it's a life changer.
Well, from my perspective, like the pandemic thing is a whole different thing to me. I didn't believe it then. I still don't believe it now, even more so. Don't think that
And
was a, I don't think that was like the eclipse. You understand? I don't think it was just naturally. It came about naturally.
of course
Human,
not.
I think men kind of have something to do with it. And so it's those same. All right. If you should do an interview with every leaders today, every world leaders from the United States, the president, the prime ministers from different countries, and ask them what's the one thing they desire most for their country and their people, they would say peace and prosperity.
But they don't really believe that.
I mean,
Because
I mean,
peace and prosperity don't make money. They don't.
okay, okay, and these are the same motherfuckers who would, at the drop of a hat, push a button
Mm-hmm.
to bring waste to this world right here now. Men,
Yeah.
you have man who is in power now, who is in charge of nuclear weapons, who are
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
very egotistic.
And the only reason why they haven't used it as yet is because they haven't been in a position where they make more money using it than less money using it. Because at the end of the day, if you kill if you kill an entire continent or country, those people can't make you money.
Do you know that war is planned? Every war
Of
that ever happened is
course.
planned. 'Cause look, right? Men go to war because they can't. Nations go to war because they can't talk over, meet in a room and talk over their differences.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? But when war begins, like Iran fired some missiles over Israel
Israel.
the other day.
Mm-hmm.
No, certain things would be an immediate reaction. You punch me, I punch you. We fighting.
Mm-hmm.
No, they have to sit and plan. Okay, you call you're my commander in chief. Call their commander in chief, army general, and say, you know what? Okay, we are gonna do. It's planned in a board meeting. It's like night of the round table, and this thing is going on for centuries, for centuries, for centuries,
Mm-hmm.
for centuries from the creation of time. It's
Mm-hmm.
planned. Look, God is calling. Is having a discussion with his people in heaven. And look, lo and behold, Satan appear. Have you considered my servant Job? All right, you have the permission to go and strike him. That's a discussion. I'm giving you
Yeah,
the
yeah,
permission to go and strike him down and kill him and kill his
yeah.
family and everything. Why the fuck would God do something like that for somebody who is his servant the most? You understand? To prove a point. What point?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I would like to say, because some people don't know this and certain Western media outlets have not mentioned it, but Israel attacked Iran first.
First, but they don't touch. Share. Like, we not,
They
this is the
attacked
share. Listen me. This is the dungeon. And but before, yes, when it come to Israel,
with the Christians them.
yes,
Israel is a fucking colonial power. They
they are.
colonized. Listen, let me tell you this about Israel because I can
I
talk from
know.
experience. No, no, no. Listen, I've I've been pro Israel because I've grown up with Israel being the country of God and the
We
state of
all were.
Israel. Okay, I took Israel history. Like there's free online university level courses from I think it was the University of Jerusalem or something like that. I took a course on Israeli history because I was like, this is my time to learn about the people of God. And it was a huge disappointment. Like I kept trying to find where did God come in and save these people? Where did God come in? All I found is what was it? Mr. Rothschild uh had
Okay.
this thing in England and he forced England to give them the territory legally because they
Okay.
wanted to go back to the territory that they left, which was now belonging to the Palestinians,
Christian.
and they just like bombed them and put them in like these little sections that keep becoming smaller. Gaza and the West Bank, which are the two places where they live basically in fucking concentration camps. And now that Hamas have tried to kind of like say, let me try something to get us out of this concentration camp, they're labeled terrorists, and they're bombing Gaza.
Listen, last night I was having this discussion. I was at a party last night and I was having the discussion with someone. I'm saying, like, listen, man, like Israel is a bully. They bombed. But listen, when I said shh, and I meant that, right? I'm the only thing I fear on earth is Elohim. Only one. Listen, the media don't bring that. The
No.
media don't, the media, the Western media, no media outlet, CNN, the BBC, the whatsoever, the Fox News, they don't bring that. But the minute a person retaliates, listen, the missiles Iran sent over there, it was to take over the base that they launched the attack from, to bomb the consulate, the consulate in Iran that killed like over a dozen people. Nobody died. They just took out the target. You understand?
Yeah.
And the world is talking about that. But Israel bombed them and killed people, and you're not hearing nothing about that. And it has been going on for centuries, from back to when you just referred from with the Rothschilds. You know who is associated with Israel? Jews. You know who run this motherfucker?
Mm-hmm.
The Jews. The
Yeah.
Rothschild. They in
And,
control of everything.
yep. And away, you say something. Away is a very Dutch term, but um, you can't say anything bad about Israel because they're God's people and they've been victims of the Holocaust. And I'm not making fun of the Holocaust, but you can't keep victimizing yourself in order to justify injustice.
The Holocaust is a Christian war.
Yeah,
That's a Christian war.
because
Not
Christians
the
are fucked up too.
Listen, you know, in the name of religion, do you know? And I like have discussions with like these with a person like you, who
Mm-hmm.
I consider a friend, but you're also open minded. We are not afraid to challenge each other. If I say something that you don't like, you're gonna, hey Andy, you're gonna come at me, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
We are not thin skinned. We can have an open discussion. We can't do that with a lot of people,
No.
especially the one who has been Christianized, and they don't see, they can't see past religion
Mm-hmm.
and the constitution of Christianity,
Yep.
because they have been brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You said it just now. You have been brought up in and you use the term now, cult.
Mm-hmm.
Christianity is cult-like.
Yeah.
It is. Anything you have to give reverence to or being made to give reverence to and then stuff like it's time to go to church. It's like rape on you, like it's out of your like, you understand? So blah 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 blah. The language.
Oh,
Sometimes
what happened to you?
you have to catch. Sometimes I have to catch myself, because if I get excited while I'm speaking, because I'm passionate about like things that I'm into.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is this: they fucking brainwashed us by saying, they gave us Christianity, they gave
Mm-hmm.
it to us and saying in it, God, Jews are God, Israel is God's chosen people. If you curse them, you're gonna be cursed. If you speak bad about them, bad thing is gonna happen to you. And so we dare not, even when we're seeing it before our very eyes, we dare not
Mm-hmm.
say Israel is wrong. They have
Yeah.
been wrong from creation, man.
And remember what I said. I went through this course, and the whole time I was trying to see how great Israel is, even after I finished it. Because this is like when I started challenging everything that it was after that I started challenging everything that I know and everything that I learned. even after studying all this, I was like, I'm not seeing it, but it's still God's people. Like, that's how brainwashed I was.
They're saying Iran killed children is dying over there. Fucking children and people is dying over Iran too, over Palestine too.
Yep.
People are dying on both, so why you just supersizing one side of the fucking story?
And here's why it matters. Here's why it matters. Remember in the last episode, you say, that's why I hate these fucking colonizers, right? What's happening in Israel, Iran, and all that stuff is the exact same thing. The exact same thing that happened and is still happening to our people in the Caribbean and also in Africa, right? Because it's still the same shit. Like they put these, you can't move against any of the Western countries. You can't. If you do, they'll start putting sanctions on you. Then they start, depending on how bad it is, how much it affects their pockets, because they benefit from having us under their control. They'll put sanctions on you, and if it's really bad, they'll drop bombs. Haiti is a really extreme example of that, but it happens in every single one of these countries. Like, if you look at the Curacao story, we're Dutch still, right? So we're still part of the Dutch kingdom. That sounds really nice, right? Oh my God, we're so small. All we do is we take care of our internal affairs, and the Netherlands takes care of the external affairs. That's the beautiful way they put it to us. Well, do you know that if Parliament wants to pass a law that the Netherlands don't agree with, they can vote against it? Do you know that if not like something simple that happened a little bit ago, we had Venezuela has Maduro as president. There was this other guy, Guaido, that was trying to come up and get like because a lot of people are suffering with Maduro in power, so they're trying to get Guaido into power. The Netherlands supported Guaido because they handle international affairs. You know what Maduro did? Closed borders between Venezuela and Curacao, stopped the fruits and vegetables that we get from there, did all of that heavily impacted not only the prices of fruits and vegetables that we get from there, but also the flow of people. Like there's a lot of Venezuelans living here with families, and like that impacts their personal life. But do you think the Netherlands cares? They don't.
They don't.
They don't give a fuck. And to be honest, I was all for Guaido as well, because he had some really good points when he was like going for his thing, but I don't even know what happened to him. I think he was imprisoned and then he went quiet. I don't even know if he's still alive. But, you know, all that, deciding all that, the Netherlands decided, it impacted us heavily. Nothing changed. But it wasn't until I think last year that the borders were open again between the two countries. And given there's a sea between between the countries, right? Because Curacao is an island, but it's still like a very important economic and social connection that we have with Venezuela.
I mean, like, yeah. Listen, it takes how many persons how many seats is in your parliament over there?
Parliament, it's wait. Why did I forget this? It's 22. Right? So yeah, it's 22. Or no, 21, and you need 11 to have majority, to have your coalition to form the government.
So 21 persons will come together.
I'm doubting this. This might be the Netherlands Antilles and not Curacao. Because by the way, I was born in a different country than I live now.
So let's just say it's 21, right?
Yeah.
So it takes 21 persons to come together in a parliament to decide the fate of an entire country.
Yeah.
Let's just rest it there.
Mm-hmm.
Let it marinate. 21 motherfuckers in Jamaica. It takes, I don't even know.
A lot of work.
BC, I guess. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna guess. But it takes that number of people to decide the fate of a country.
Yeah.
They don't go around and ask the citizens of that country, we're thinking about this, what do you think? No, they just decide that. You understand? This is it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what separation is about. Even in politics, there's separation. You have left, you have right, you have the opposition, and you have the leader who is in.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's everything is separation. In Christianity, it's separation. This congregation, that congregation, my belief, your belief, separation. Politics, separation. You see, in the school, separation. That's the bride class. That's not the bride class.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is about separation.
Yeah.
Everything, if you think about it, everything is about separation.
Mm. Yeah. Because even in Parliament, you need 11 votes to get through because there's 21 seats. So if the rest of the 10 of them don't vote with you, who cares? Because
Yeah, yeah,
coalition is still going to win, right?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And with 80, listen, with 80, it's bigger than barbecue,
of course.
What you see happening in 80, it stems back in history. We have to take a step back in history. The only Caribbean nation who defeated a world power like Italy with Napoleon. Yeah, is it
Yep.
Italy?
No, no, no. They defeated France.
France. You understand? With Napoleon,
Mm-hmm.
a man who is in charge of over 600 troops,
Mm-hmm.
a group of black men from an island defeated that. That's where it is coming from. So
And
every
they've been
80,
trying to break them ever since.
yeah,
And I say this every time. We need to give Haiti so much props, so much thank you, so much. And you know what's beautiful about Haitians? They're really nice people. I've
yeah.
yet to meet a Haitian that's rude, not nice, not respectful. I've yet to meet that person. I'm sure it exists, but we got a lot of Haitians here, and I've yet to meet that person.
No, no, I've met and I've become friends with in the past with a lot of Asians, and it's true. They're helpful, and guess what? And it's not just 80. You remember you say to me, um, Curacao is like a melting pot for the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. And
Yeah.
and it's also true that no matter where you go, people love Jamaica and Jamaicans, or accent like the care fathom it. I can't see it like all the nations of the world just love Jamaica. So you're from Jamaica, like we want to go to
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, blah blah blah. Why? It's like no, let me not say why. I'm saying like that it's
You
I
want to
mean
go to that shithole?
yeah. That's not what I'm saying. Jamaica is beautiful.
I know, I know, I know. I love
What I'm
Jamaica
saying
too.
is what I'm saying is this. Some of the time we are from a place and we don't see the value of it until we step out and see how other
Mm.
persons are in awe of it.
Here's a powerful thought, right? The ombudsman, I don't know how you say that in English.
Ombudsman,
Ombudsman of the
yeah,
Caribbean have said that migration outside of the Caribbean has risen drastically. And we are taught from really, really young that you need to leave the country that you were born in to be successful. You need to go foreign. You need to go to the Netherlands. You need to go to the States. You need to go to UK. You need to go to these bigger countries because they have more opportunities. There is no opportunity here. Here's what I say to that. And I've been saying this, and people have been coming at me since I was 18 and I couldn't defend myself, but I knew this since then was you will not be able to succeed in the Caribbean while trying to do it as a white person and trying to come up with these concepts and succeed here. At least we're not be able to create an economy and something that works for us while we're still trying to say, oh, this is what economy looks like. This, we got to decolonize those things. We got to look at them differently. We're taught we don't have resources, or we can't do that because we're too small. All that is just plain old bullshit. Just look at Singapore, a little island that is a huge city that's still a little island. I think Singapore is more or less um I don't remember if the size or the population. It's definitely not the population. I think the size is just a little bit bigger than Curacao, so it's still smaller than Jamaica.
Mm,
Um so if they can do it, we can do it. But here's the thing, we can't do it trying to do it like Europeans and Americans have done it. Because, first of all, we don't have the mindset of going and taking and abusing and using people like they do. Secondly, even if we try that, they're going to shut us off, shut us up. So the whole thing is we got to come together individually. We first of all, it starts individually. It starts with a decision individually of saying we're going to find a way, and then find others like-minded to say, how can we find that way?
mm,
Right? Like, how can we find that way to make that happen?
mm.
Because we cannot succeed like a colonizer in any way, shape, or form.
All right, you said we were taught to, and it's true. You can't succeed where you're from, and they use that term. A king if hasn't been crowned in his own kingdom. You have to go outside to get to be crowned and come back. And but that's a journey stems back from even the stories of the Bible. Abraham left his homeland and he went to the land of promise. It's
That's
true.
colonization.
Colonization, and it's true, and
Yes.
it's happening even now. And so many Caribbean people is living outside of the Caribbean in these first world countries. The term you ate, and I agree,
And these colonizer countries
in these colonizers' country,
that got rich off of our backs.
and still is now because we are boosting. We say we are going over there to work. We
Yep.
are killing ourselves, and we are boosting their economy.
Yep.
No, so it goes back to I love Cuba,
Mm-hmm.
and I say that because of this, right? I think it's the only Caribbean or one of the only Caribbean nation now that is debt free. Understand? They have this embargo on them for decades, but they
Yeah.
survived. You see,
Mm-hmm.
they can't. So Cuba is a prime example that we can live without the aid of these colonizers' country. We can.
People really suffer in Cuba, though.
I know.
People really have a really hard time there.
And,
But
and people suffer everywhere, Shay. But I'm saying I'm not going to go into the domestics of it, with them. I'm just saying we can live and survive without the aid of these
yeah, yeah,
big
yeah.
super.
Venezuela has done it too. Chavez has paid off all their debts and like um
Venezuela is oil rich. They're rich in oil.
yeah, there. It you know, many places have decolonized, have been in the process of doing that. We don't hear those stories. Burkina Faso is doing some really big things right now.
Who is that?
Burkina Faso, an African country. So I have a story about that. I was in line to be fed in Montana at YWAM, and this guy, Gerard, was behind me. And I turned around. It was the first time I've been talking to him. I knew he was African, but I didn't know like which country. So I said, which country you're from? He said, Burkina Faso. I said, that country doesn't exist.
It's the
Like
first time
that was
hearing that.
yeah. So you got it. Burkina Faso, Mali. There's
And
another
Mali,
one. Yeah, there's another one, but they're bounding together to kind of throw the colonizers and stuff because France is just stealing from these countries still up until this day. So
Have you been
ECOWAS,
to
have I been to what?
Tibet or Thailand?
I've been in Thailand for a day, but I was in Cambodia, which is not right next to it.
Did you ride an elephant?
No.
I want to
I
ride.
I wanted to. I saved my money, but you know how sad that shit is? I saved my money for it. Like it was $20 to write a thing, and we have missionary budgets, so I had a $20 bill to write an elephant. But when I heard about the abuse and I saw it firsthand, nah, I don't want to ride an elephant.
How do you think they tame those beasts? They beat them,
Exactly,
train them, yeah.
exactly. But yeah, going back to what's happening in West Africa, ECOWAS is like the CARICOM of West African countries. They are really bounding together against European powers. They've met with Russia, um, and they've made some contacts there. So there's something brewing around there with people standing up for themselves. And nobody wants to talk about it.
Fake news. You remember that? That fake news. He was telling us all along that all we're getting is fake news.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we flattering. But that's another story. I don't want to get
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah, we need to wrap up so we don't have a 24-hour podcast.
So for a podcast, for an episode that we didn't know what we're going to talk about, I was just about to say that we talk a lot.
Yes, we did. We did. And we didn't even touch about too much about what other people said before. But yeah, it was a world discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
With that,
we say
we've come to an end
off
of episode 10.
See you again.
Bye. If I would say it in Papiamento, I would say Turco se acaba. Ayo.
And if I was saying in Jamaica, I would say, move your blood clot from you.
Bye.